สวัสดีครับอาจารย์ฮัลโหลครับผมครับฟังครับ
Hello. Greetings to everybody. Welcome to another meeting where we will discuss the practices of charity, morality, and meditation according to the Buddha's instruction. We shall start with our first participant. Before I say that, everyone is welcome to join us. If you like to ask questions, you have to come into the room and wait. But if you just want to watch, you can watch Facebook Live or on YouTube Live right now. Okay, we'll go to Felicia Chan from Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajaan. My meditation progress is good. I get into body loose condition directly when I meditate. I am very mindful and clear. I feel nothing in the body. Delusion and mindfulness are outside body. They are in the space. Am I correct?
Well, mindfulness is in the mind, so it's not in the body. But it's the mind that direct or tell the body what to do. With mindfulness, then the mind can tell the body to do the right thing, the good thing. Without mindfulness, then usually it will be the delusion or defilement that will tell the body what to do, which usually the wrong thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that all? Okay.
Since I get into body loose condition, I become more mindful, peaceful, and happy in my daily life. I am not interested with sensual happiness at all. Ajaan, I also want to let you know that next week I may not join this Zoom meeting. I will be at Pat Chong Wat Khao Jai for retreat and pay respect to Long Po Thai. This is my resolution.
In Thailand.
In Thailand.
Okay. Long Po Thai is his sick.
Yeah, but recently recovered.
I see. Okay.
That's why now the airline also we open for enter Thailand because I myself no vaccination. Then I should take the PCR test.
Yes.
I go to pay respect him and then retreat there.
Good. How long you staying?
I think around 10 days.
10 days, okay.
10 days.
It's a quiet monastery. It's good for practice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because during the COVID time, I retreat there. I come back that time, Malaysia lockdown. That's why 2 years, I cannot go back there. Luckily, I can join Zoom meeting, learn Dhamma from Brother Ajaan.
Okay. All right. Hope you find more peace and happiness.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for
teaching. Yen So from Penang.
Ajaan, good evening. No question today. I'm listening today. Yeah.
Okay. Billy, Mechi, Billy from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay. Nanapat from Ubon Ratchathani, Thailand.
นมัสการค่ะท่านอาจารย์ no question ค่ะ happy to listening in ค่ะ
Okay. Kok Seng from Singapore.
Ajaan, no questions. Thank you.
Mechi Mamil from Thailand.
นมัสการท่านอาจารย์ค่ะ I have no question today.
Okay. Christine Koe from Malaysia. Go ahead, speak, Christine. You can speak now. Maybe you cannot hear me.
She cannot connect with our audio. Let's see. Christine, can you hear us?
No, your audio doesn't come through. You have to go out and come back in again.
Okay. Okay, you can talk now.
Ajaan, can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you good.
Good evening, Ajaan. Thank you. Thank you. I have no question. Thank you.
Okay. Professor Kenneth from Switzerland.
Good afternoon, Ajaan. Ajaan, I would like to ask a question regarding the arising of anger, because I still see anger arising, in particular in relation to other people who I know it's because they're not behaving in the way I would like them to. That's the trigger of the arising of anger. But I wonder if you could advise if there's a way on looking more deeply to see the root cause of the anger arising.
Well, first it is expectation from things that you cannot expect, really. That's what it means. You expect things to go according to your plan. When things don't go according to your plan, then you get angry.
Yeah.
That's because you don't understand that things that you expect are natural work of nature. They are all work of nature, but somehow we separate them from nature and think we can deal with them like people. But if you really look at it deeply, you'll find that every one of us here are all work of nature. Our body, our mind, it's all part of nature. We are basically the 5 elements. The body is the product of the 4 elements, and the mind is the 5th element. That's the one that directs or tells the body what to do. And the mind itself cannot control itself. We all want our mind to be good, but sometimes our mind can be bad. That's because it hasn't been properly trained yet. So you have to look at everything, human or things, trees, as work of nature. Then you don't expect any particular way of things. You can just be open-minded and expect anything. If you can expect anything, then you won't get angry.
Mm-hmm.
Like you expect the weather, right? You know sometimes it's gonna rain, sometimes it's gonna shine, sometimes it's gonna snow. So this is what we call anatta. No self in everything. They are all work of nature, natural phenomena. This is what you want to teach your mind. But even the work of nature, we can somehow deal with it to a particular level, but not all the time, not to the extent that we like to. So if it's beyond our limit, then we just have to accept things as they are. People are like this, so if there's nothing you can change them or make them the way you want it, then you just have to accept them for what they are. Then you won't get angry at them. Our anger comes from our expectation, and our expectation from our delusion, from our lack of wisdom, and everything is anatta, sabbe dhamma anatta.
Okay.
You don't get angry at your glasses, right, when it breaks.
Yeah, I think this is a very helpful guidance to just look at these things as part of nature. This is very helpful. Yeah.
They are, the truth is they are, but we don't see it that way. That's our delusion. Separate humans, animals from nature. And think they are apart from nature, but they are all part of nature, not apart.
Yeah.
They work in conjunction, really. The body reacts to the natural environment, the heat, the cold, the storm, and so forth.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's the mind, the delusion, the deluded mind that try to think that the body, human or animals are not part of nature, separate entity that can be dealt with. But you cannot deal with them, right? You can do to a certain level, but to a certain extent. But beyond that, you cannot expect them to be what you like them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to get angry or hurt or sad. You just have to accept them for what it is, for what they are.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is the work of wisdom, of vipassana. Constantly remind yourself every time when you approach something that say, this is the work of nature. Make sure you don't expect too much from it. Sometimes you can deal with it, and sometimes you cannot deal with it. Sometimes you can keep them under control, and sometimes you cannot.
Yeah.
So this is basically what we are supposed to train our mind to do. Especially the three objects in Satipatthana Sutta. The body is a work of nature. Feelings are work of nature. And the mental states are also the work of nature. This is more directly within ourselves. But before we can get to this point, we have to let go of the external things first, like people and whatever. People and things you have to let go. Then you can come and let go of your body, let go of your feelings, and let go of the mental states, the emotions that keep changing all the time, and not always under your control. Sometimes you have good days, sometimes you have a bad day. Someday you wake up, you feel lousy already, not even knowing why you have to feel lousy. That's the nature of the mind. It keeps changing. Same way with the nature of the body, it keeps changing. And sometimes they react or interact with the body and mind, sometimes they interact. When the body isn't good, it also cause the mind to feel bad also. But if you practice, you will be able to learn how to moderate or stabilize the mind, to teach the mind to remain calm and not react to anything. This is the goal of our practice. By first developing mindfulness, because with strong mindfulness, you can stop the mind from reacting, remain calm and still, but only temporarily, because mindfulness doesn't always on the same level. Sometimes it weakens. When it weakens, then the other factor, the other forces, the defilement will start to instigate the mind to react. But if you want to make it permanent, not reacting permanently, then you have to use wisdom. Every time the mind wants to react, tell the mind you're reacting against nature, you're going against nature, and it's useless. That's it. Once you can see that, and you stop reacting. Stop trying to change things or people, or even your body. You eventually you're gonna have to accept it's gonna fall apart, it's gonna get sick. And the more you try to fight this truth, you're creating more suffering for yourself, for your mind. But if you just let it be, accept it for what it is, then the mind will be calm and peaceful. You cannot change things. You cannot teach the mind to let go. This way will liberate the mind from stress and anxiety and worry, and all types of mental suffering. Clear enough?
That's very clear, very helpful. Thank you, Ajaan.
Just to be outside of the subject. Just wonder, you're not traveling anywhere like everybody else you seem to be doing? Not yet?
No, I'm not planning anywhere.
Not visiting anybody, family or friends?
No, nothing.
Stay put.
My family is far away. My daughter is in New Zealand, so I'm not planning to go there.
Now you can meet her in Zoom anywhere. Right? You can.
I got used to not traveling anywhere, and it's quite comfortable like that.
Yeah. That's the best way to live, is really to stay put if you can.
This last few weeks, I just moved from one town to the other, but I want to stay here now.
This will be more permanent now, where you are, or still not certain.
Well,
It comes with your job, right? It comes with your job.
Moved with the job. It should be hopefully my last move before I retire sometime.
And you're gonna settle down in the same place in Switzerland?
I don't know actually what I'll do later on. I'll think about that. I don't know.
Your home originally is from England.
Scotland.
Yeah. Is that a place where you might think of moving back to?
I don't think so. At the moment, I just have my mother there, and my two children are away. So I'm quite free to go where I want. I want to go maybe somewhere where it's quiet.
No, Switzerland's supposed to be a quiet country.
It's quite busy. My daughter has just recently bought a big property. She offered to build me a small kuti in the bottom of her garden.
Oh, really? Good.
So maybe I'll do that later.
Live with the sheep. Stay with the sheep.
Yeah, she has some sheep and things like that. Yeah, she has several animals. But
good. Live in nature. Go back to nature.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. Nice talking to you.
Thank you, Ajaan. Thank you very much.
Claudia from Germany.
Good afternoon.
From Nuremberg, Germany.
Yes, very close to Nuremberg. Yeah.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Thanachang. So I have no questions at the moment.
So you're on vacation right now?
Yes, we have school holidays, and my holiday started with probably with a food poisoning. So I was really sick. I'm not used to being that sick. So I had a good contemplation about the body and the ugly parts of the body.
Yes.
And I was reading the complete book about the life of Meiji.
แก้วแม่ชี
Yeah,
แก้ว
Mhm.
Well, have you learned anything from your illness, from your sickness? Have
Nothing
you?
is permanent.
Okay.
Yeah. So I really tried to take Meiji as a role model and
Okay.
just to endure it with patience. I lost a lot of, so I was really dehydrated, and yeah, so Meiji was a good role model.
Good. Okay. Keep on studying and practicing as much as you can.
Thank you. I will.
Okay. Bruce Lee from Indonesia.
Evening, Ajahn. I don't
Yeah.
have any question for now. Thank you, Ajahn.
We had a group of Medan people came here to visit last week.
Oh, I see.
You know them? I'm not sure.
I only have a few friends, but most of them are in Jakarta.
I see. They said they're from Medan. Okay.
Okay,
Then we
Ajahn.
go to On Umar 454. Where are you from? Bangkok, Thailand?
Seattle ค่ะ
Or Seattle? Okay.
Ajahn, I came 2 weeks ago to listen in Thai, but tomorrow I'm busy, so I'm just come to see how it is in English, and pleasantly surprised you speak really, really good English, and I guess I will learn some Dhamma word in English because I don't really know a lot of the word like kanha and stuff. So I think it will be helpful to come listen to you in English. Ka.
Okay.
So
You're
I can.
welcome to join. You're welcome to join.
Thank you. I tomorrow I will go giving offering a monk to the food for the American monk at the Pike Place Market.
Okay, good. They come once a week, huh?
They go every day, Monday to Friday.
Oh, I see.
Yes, and not many people go there yet. So I'm trying to help spread the word to Thai people here to go sai baat, like giving the food off.
Yeah.
Yes, for them, because I feel like as Buddhist, I should like help spread the word that there are monks there, and not many people know about it. So I'll try my best to help with that.
Can you also go to the monastery where they stay?
I went to the Saturday. They have praying and a meditation, but I only can go a little because on weekends it's very hard for me because my husband and kids are at home. So it's better for me to do things on the weekdays while I'm self.
Okay, good. Just want to know. That's whether the people are allowed to go to the monastery also. They can.
Yeah, they rent. I think they have a place like a church that they go there like once a week on Saturday to give Dhamma to American people.
I see. Okay. Good.
And next month I'm going back to Thailand for a little bit, so I will go to visit you.
Okay, we'll see you then. Okay. I'll go to Belinda in Singapore.
Hello, Ajahn. No questions for now.
Okay. Ricardo from Uruguay.
Happy to see you, Ajahn. No questions right now. Thank you very much.
Okay. Taiwan, Eugene from Taiwan.
Hello, Pa Ajaan.
Yes, go ahead. Can hear you.
I just have a small question. It's about the meditation, because as your teachings, our mind is anatta, and we should understand everything is impermanent. But when I try to remind and awakeness my mind, sometimes I will get very nervous. For example, I try to fix my mind, because when I see some people or something, I will have wandering and a lot of thought. So I try to concentrate in for example, Putto, but the nervous will be stronger. So how do I get out of the nervous? Because I think maybe it's a kind of mistake in meditation.
Well, see, mindfulness is something that you need to practice a lot of before you even meditate. You have to practice it in your daily life. So that once you have enough mindfulness, when you feel nervous, you can stop it with mindfulness. And the way to develop mindfulness can be, there are several ways, but usually there are just two popular ways. One is to keep reciting a mantra, or do some mental chanting, some chant. Right, while you're going about doing your work, you just keep, if you don't have to think, and stop your thoughts by reciting a mantra or do some mental chanting. This will prevent your mind from thinking a lot.
Okay.
Once you can do this, then when your mind becomes nervous, you can use the chanting or the mantra to stop your mind from being nervous.
So can I try the refuge prayer, for example, Bhutan Saranam Gacchami?
Yes, any kind of chant that you prefer. This will prevent your mind from thinking about other things.
Okay.
And your nervousness actually comes from what you think. You think about something, then you become nervous. So if you can stop thinking about that thing, then your nervousness will disappear.
So the nervous is also come from the ignorance, or
it's the result of the deluded mind thinking, ignorant of the true nature, true characteristic of nature, what nature is. Nature is impermanent. Nature is constantly changing, but we want it to be still. We want it to be constant, to be permanent. And that doesn't happen. It can cause us nervousness, anxiety.
So,
but if we learn to accept that everything is changing, everything is moving, nothing remains the same. Everything comes and goes, rise and cease. When you can see this, then you accept these things, and then you will not be nervous anymore.
So for every meditators, the practitioner way, they will got nervous is general things.
Yes, everybody is nervous. That's the reason why we practice, to get rid of our nervousness by first stopping our thought. Then once we can do that, then the next step is to teach them the mind to think correctly, think that everything is not permanent, everything is not constant, everything is moving, changing all the time. And when we can accept this reality, then we will not be nervous anymore.
Thank you so much, Pa Ajaan.
Okay, so but you have to practice about mindfulness, all that from the time you get up, as soon as you get up, start say Buddham, Dhammam, Sangham, Saranam, Gacchami. While you go about doing your daily routine, such as washing, and brushing your teeth, and eating, resting, or whatever. When you don't have to think, just don't let your mind think. Keep it reciting chants.
Okay.
Then you will have strong mindfulness. So when you feel nervous, you can chant right away. When you chant for a while, your nervousness will disappear.
So if I get in the correct way, our mind will appear the joyful.
Yes, joyful, peaceful, calm.
So, for example, now I still not have a joyful and enough peace. It means I have tried to change my stop my thought in chanting Putto Dhammo Sangho is a easy way for me.
Yes, but if you want your mind to be really joyful, you have to sit and meditate and recite Putto Dhammo and Sangho.
Okay.
Until your mind becomes still, then you'll find peace and happiness from there.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Next, Philip from Malaysia and Adeline.
Good evening, Ajaan. We don't have any questions tonight. Happy to listen in.
Okay. Sulan, you come in early today. Usually always the last to come in.
Yeah, I'm early today. Yeah, happy to see Ajaan.
Anything you want to ask? Any question?
Yeah, I think like 2 days ago, that at night I was washing the rubbish bin. Then when I was using the brush to clean the rubbish bin, then at first I didn't see the spider. Then suddenly I saw the spider, but it was kind of too late because I poured the detergent inside already. So I hurriedly poured out the spider. It was still moving. Then after that, because I scared that the chemical is too strong, so I used water to spray it. Yeah. Then after that, the spider stopped moving. Then after that, I was very scared also that the spider will die. Yeah. So like, maybe at that point in time, I just kind of the mind just reacted very scared and worried. Yeah. But thankfully, I think after 15 minutes later, the spider started moving and ran away. Yeah. So like for instance, such cases where the mind just react before I can control it. What should I do?
What should you do? In case you react to the situation and you want to stop or not. See, sometimes you have to react. If you can do something positive or something productive. So you have to decide whether what you will do will be productive or be destructive. If it's going to be destructive, then you want to stop. But if it's going to be productive, then go ahead and do it.
Yeah. Because I wasn't too sure whether it will be helpful, but I think that it will be helpful, so I sprayed water at it to wash the chemical away. Yeah, but thankfully the outcome was good. So in such cases, like if let's say the outcome is bad, then that means I have done something bad, right?
Well, you just react to the way you were programmed to react to things. So if you want to not react, then you have to reprogram yourself, train yourself not to react. Use your wisdom first before you react. So this is something you have to train yourself, reprogram yourself. We have all been programmed to react to things in a certain way. And you find that in this reaction is bad, then you want to reprogram yourself. If you used to react with anger, you should reprogram yourself to react with loving kindness instead. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, can
It's
still
quite
hear.
loud. No, I have some. It's raining and the room is quite loud. But I hope you all can still hear me. Okay.
Yeah. Also, we have to reprogram ourselves.
Right. You want to reprogram yourself to react with loving kindness, compassion, or sympathetic joy. Or if you cannot react, if you cannot do anything positive or productive, then you just remain in equanimity to the past.
Okay.
If you see somebody who needs help, if you can help that person, then you help that person. If you find that you cannot help that person, then you have to not react, not to do anything. Or you find that if you do something, it will do more harm than good, then you shouldn't do it. So you have to think before you react. How should I react? With loving kindness, with compassion, with sympathetic joy, or with equanimity?
Okay.
And you cannot do it. When somebody makes you angry and you react with anger, then you need to have to develop a lot of loving kindness. You have to do more. And the way to react, to have loving kindness is to have equanimity first. And in order to have equanimity, you have to meditate. In order to meditate, you have to have mindfulness. So it all comes back to mindfulness at the starting point. Our solution is the lack of mindfulness. Our solution is to have mindfulness. Once we have mindfulness, then we can direct the mind to react accordingly, positively, productively. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Monica. Monica from Malaysia.
Good evening, Tan Ajaan. Today, I don't have any question.
Okay. So go to Sri and check from Vancouver, Canada.
Good evening, Tan Ajaan.
Go ahead. Say what's on your mind.
Like you always talk about like before you become Sotapan, you kind of have to go through like tests, like to see if you are still attached to the body. So like for the monks who are practicing in forest monastery, do they always get a chance to have the test, or they have to purposely expose themselves to the danger? Or
if you don't, then you don't know for sure whether you have got rid of your fear or not.
Right. So they always subject themselves.
Subject what?
Subject themselves to danger on purpose.
If they want to take the test, if they want to use it as a means of developing more mindfulness. Because when you're in a dangerous environment, you have to be more careful, more mindful. If you haven't yet developed enough mindfulness, you can also use the danger zone as a means of developing, forcing yourself to be more mindful. Because when you're living in a safe zone, you tend to be lacking in mindfulness. So when you're in a danger zone, you have to be more careful. Being more careful is really being more mindful. This is one reason for staying in a dangerous zone, to force your mind to be more mindful. And then also to test your mind whether you have the wisdom to see that the body doesn't belong to you. That the body can be taken away from you any day, any time. Are you willing? Can you willing to let it go? If you do, you will not feel any fear when you have to lose it. But if you're in a safe zone, you don't see any threat to your body, and you don't know whether you have let go of your attachment to the body or not. But when you're in a danger zone, then you might think, oh, something can happen to this body. Some animal can come and eat it up or bite it or something. And how would you react, with fear or with equanimity? If you react with equanimity, then you pass the test. If you still react with fear, then you don't pass the test yet. That's why most forest monks, they have to practice in the forest. That's why they're called forest monk in the first place. Even the Buddha, he was a forest monk. The Buddha, he practices in the forest. Because that's where you will experience some dangerous environments. Because you don't know which animal will come and get you anywhere, anytime. So you have to keep developing mindfulness and developing wisdom. You're telling yourself that the body is anatta, it's not you. It belongs to nature. It belongs to the flower element. It's anicca. It's subjected to this dissolution. So this is something you will be forced to contemplate all the time, to calm your fear when you feel fearful.
So the monks, they certify themselves, or can the teach? They're not certified.
Everybody, practitioner can certify to himself. Like eating, you can tell yourself whether you're full or not.
Not certified by the teacher.
Well, the teacher can also confirm your status if you report to him. Confirm or not confirm. If it doesn't confirm, then maybe you haven't yet passed the test.
So the teacher can also confirm. Okay.
Because sometimes you can be self-deluded.
Yeah.
You might think you passed the test, And actually, you might not pass the test.
Yeah. I remember a story. A monk said that he went to a very remote place and he felt so peaceful that he thought that he's already enlightened.
Yeah.
And then when he came back to the monastery, the teacher purposely put all the food that he doesn't like in his bowl, and he got angry, and he's like,
Okay.
So that's how they test you.
That's right. And the teacher don't tell you when he's gonna give you the test, because if he tells you ahead of time, then he gets you when you are not ready, not prepared.
Yeah.
Tan Ajahn, for Sotapan, he won't feel angry at all?
Oh yes, he still feel angry, but as far as regarding to the body, he won't feel angry with the body. If anything relating to the body, he won't feel angry. But he still have a self in the mind. He still think that there's a self. He still think he's a self. Only an arahant that would not think that he's a self anymore.
Oh.
But as far as the body is concerned, a Sotapanna doesn't get angry if somebody hurt his body or do anything to his body. But he might get hurt if somebody says something bad to him, hurt his mind.
Oh.
Because his mind still reacts as a self. If his mind doesn't react, then there's no self. Then there's no self. If you just know that the mind is just a knower.
So only Arahant won't get angry.
That's right. That's right. Arahant don't get angry, don't get greedy, because an Arahant is no longer delusional.
But the Arahant is special because, like, even though it's everything is nature using, but the tree can't give us loving kindness, but the Arahant can give us loving kindness. I guess.
Well, every level can give a certain level of loving kindness. It depends on the amount of equanimity they have. So Sotapanna also can give loving kindness,
right?
But to a point. Yeah. But if somebody tried to take away his girlfriend, he might not be able to do that. Because he's still attached to his girlfriend. But an Anakami would not get angry if somebody take away his girlfriend.
I think I read on the sutta. There's a man named Chitta. He has 4 wives, and he was an anagami, and he gave away his wife. He can ask them, oh, if you want to be married, you can remarry.
Because he see all his wife as corpse.
Oh.
As a super. As trash, as rubbish.
Oh.
You don't want to keep rubbish, right? You don't want to give it away. But Sotapanna still as a beauty queen. So he won't give it away. Because he hasn't yet reflected or contemplated on the super of the body yet. But as soon as he starts to develop a super, then sometimes he can reach the second level by having about 50 attachment, letting go of 50%. Meaning, when he sees as a rubbish, he can let go. But when he sees as a beauty queen, he cannot let go. He doesn't see as a rubbish all the time.
Half. Half like
Oh.
half,
When
sometimes
they
like,
when they think it's rubbish, they say, "Yeah, you can have it." When they ask, it's a beauty queen. They say, "Oh, you cannot have it."
So you go back to practice Asuba.
Yeah. And when you can see it as the rubbish all the time, then yes, you can have it. You can have her.
Oh.
So yeah, once you're on the contemplation level, you have to do it constantly until it becomes second nature. You see the body as rubbish all the time.
wow.
But when you're developing, then sometimes you forget to contemplate. Then you're delusional. They'll make you think, this is still a beauty queen to you. So when you can eventually see the body as rubbish all the time, then you know that you no longer have any sexual tendency toward the body anymore.
But you see as a rubbish, but you don't have aversion. Like you, even though it's like it's not.
No, you have equanimity. So you have to equanimity. If you don't have equanimity and you contemplate, then you can have aversion.
Oh.
That's why you need to have samadhi first before you can develop wisdom effectively and not hurting yourself. Like the story of monks contemplating on the death of the body.
Yeah.
So they become have aversion for the body and why keep the body and kill the body.
So we have to be careful when we practice, like practice the correct sequence, like do mindfulness and then samadhi, the correct sequence.
Yes, to get to equanimity, then you can then contemplate on the
vipassana.
Yes. Or else you might react wrongly.
Yeah.
Okay. Tan Ajahn, does a Sotapan still need to develop mindfulness?
He has enough mindfulness, but what he needs now is to have wisdom. So he will concentrate more on wisdom. Once you reach the supramundane level, it means you have strong mindfulness. You have equanimity. So now you need to contemplate on the body, the feelings first, and then the mental states eventually. So you do a lot of wisdom contemplation, but if your mind overheated, if you become agitated, then you have to stop your contemplation, your investigation. Then you have to use mindfulness to stop your mind from investigating or studying the nature of the body or whatever object, and calm your mind. Bring it. You have lost your cool or your equanimity.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else? Excuse me. Nothing.
I was going to ask, like, for female practitioner, like they become matchy, like for a male practitioner, like sometimes they become pakao. What is the difference?
This is a prerequisite. They want to make sure that you are ready for the ordained life. So you do the 8 preceptors first to test whether you are capable of living amongst or a meshy life for the rest of your life. So it's like taking an entrance to an entrance examination to a university. They don't accept you right away. They want to see whether you're qualified or not.
Oh, okay.
So I think Ajaan Chah's tradition is you have to be a white preceptor, 8 preceptor for 1 year, Pakao for 1 year. before they even considering ordaining you as a monk. And I think in the Buddha's time, to become a bhikkhuni, you have to be a preceptor for 2 years, I think. And if you break any precept, you have to restart your counting again.
That's pretty smart.
Yeah, just make sure that you don't break any precepts for 2 years. So because you can be ordained as a bhikkhuni for women. But if you break any precept, even you almost reach your 2-year limit, you have to restart. You have to restart again. But not with the monk. I haven't heard any story about whether there's any time. I think it just leaves to the teacher to decide whether the preceptor is ready for ordination or not. But with the bhikkhuni, I think the Buddha wants to be more strict. Wants to really to choose the right candidate.
So can one become a pakao for the rest of his life?
If you like to, no one. Some people prefer to be a pakao and not ordained because he feels that he might not be able to keep all the precepts of a monk, and he feels that he could practice as a pakao. Like before I was practicing alone, I didn't want to get ordained either. I like being free, be able to do things. But once you become a monk, you have to. It's not like being put in jail. Really. You have to live in a monastery and observe all the rules and customs of monks. So I didn't want to ordain, but then I just ran out of money, ran out of support. And I have no way of means of supporting myself if I don't go to work, But if I go to work, then I wouldn't have the time to practice as much as I like. So then I was automatically forced to become a monk. And that was a good decision because then you really being forced to be more strict with your mind, with your defilements. And you also live in a what you call conducive environment, having good teachers, having good companies, other monks. You can have good example of other monks who ordained before you, how they practice. You see their practices, and then you can then follow their example. So it was the right decision to ordain. To remain a pakao is not a good decision. Unless you feel that you cannot really do it, then you just have to. You have to take a slow train, maybe. A pakao will probably be a slower train than becoming a monk.
But sometimes it's a medical condition. Like I know, like maybe they can't go pindabat. Like they can't, for example, they don't.
Yes, maybe too old, or maybe if you're crippled or something, you cannot ordain also. You have to be able to support yourself. You don't expect other people to support you when you become a monk. Monks are supposed to be self-reliant as far as looking after their body.
So he won't burden the monastery.
Right. Or else it will be just place to take up crippled people, handicapped people. So in this sense, it seems like Buddhism has no compassion.
Can they make exception, Ajahn, or no? Like if the person is really serious or not really?
I don't think so. If he cannot look after himself, then who's gonna look after him?
Yeah. But they can practice as a pakao.
Pakao, yeah.
Okay.
Then he can maybe use money, if he has money, to buy things or to pay for some helper to help him or her. But as monk, you cannot do this.
It's also
with older monks, they use their years in robe to attract help from the younger monks. Younger monks will respect older monks, and then they would consider it to be making marriage to support the older monks. But when you're a younger monk, you have to do everything yourself. When you're a new monk, and if you happen to ordain at the age of 60, then you'll find it very difficult.
Yeah.
Because you're not strong and enough like the 20-year-old monk. So that's why sometimes it's not good to ordain when you're old.
But what can be a pakao, I mean, can still
Yeah,
practice.
you can practice, and if the teacher or the abbot sees that you are serious and you are potential candidate, then he will allow you to live as pakao. I have one pakao. He's been living on the mountain for many years, but every month he has to go back and look after his business or whatever. Once a month he'll go home for about 3 or 4 days, and then he'll come back and practice as a pakao. And then I asked him, why aren't you gonna ordain? I don't know. I just didn't feel it's my business. If this is what he wants to do, then maybe he still have some obligation. I think he had a daughter or something, which was going to school then. But recently I heard that she already graduated and working now. So I don't know what keeps him from ordaining. I don't know.
Everybody has a different situation, I suppose.
Yes. Okay, maybe we are straying away from our main subject. Maybe it's good. I don't know. You can comment if it seems like we are just not talking about the right subject. You can just say, let's get back to meditation or something.
I don't get to know about like all these info. Like I guess we don't get access as a layperson to a lot of information about.
Yeah, you're not on the ground. So you're just
you're not
watching. You're watching from above, from a plane. So you don't get the real clear picture of the situation on the ground.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have to come live in the monastery for a few months. Then
you will understand better. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
That's why people are not allowed to ordain right away. They're supposed to learn the monastic life first. And they can decide whether it is for them or not also.
That makes sense.
Sometimes your impression when you're reading about it sounds so good. But when you see the real thing and say, maybe this is not for me.
Right. I think it makes a lot of sense to have a free
to be a candidate first.
Candidate.
Apply for a candidate.
Entrance exam and then right.
Expectation. Expectation.
Because what you read, you draw a rosy picture of things.
Right.
But when you see the real thing, it's not always rosy. It's a lot of thorn also, not just roses only.
I really like that. Before Alexaru went to Thailand, you warn him. You give him some. You warn him, and then he said, "Oh, teacher, you can't scare me." He's really determined, Ajahn. It's good.
Thank you, Ajahn, for the explanations. I think it's helpful for me. I don't, but thank you so much.
Okay, you're welcome. Alvin, Malaysia.
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm just listening. No question tonight. Thank you.
Okay, Lillian from Bangkok.
Good evening, Ajahn. I think just following up from what Sulan was saying, I think I very pretty hard to control my anger as well when there's an issue. But I do notice that meditation does help. Like when you're gonna get angry, there's just something inside that tells you, okay, you need to control yourself. But once you stop, that's it. You
Yes.
will come back so easily, like so easy.
So when you meditate, you bring your mind inside to watch your mind. Normally you watch the outside, and so you don't know how the mind is reacting. And as you meditate, then you can start to see the reaction of your mind become more clearer, more obvious.
Yep. But really need to meditate a lot, because once you don't
stop,
meditate for a few
lose
days,
it. Yeah.
it comes
It's
back.
gone. It's
easily.
gone.
It's hard to get the samadhi together, but once it's gone so easily.
Yeah, and it's hard to get back to come.
Yes, it's very, very hard to get it back.
And make you feel very frustrated.
Yes. So still trying.
Try to maintain your practice. Try to maintain what you have accumulated. Don't lose it.
Yes.
So don't be lazy. You
Yes.
need to be diligent.
Still trying to keep my pledge that time. But also following up from what Sui and Chek was saying, I feel that it would be very, very hard to observe the precepts at this modern era, isn't it? Because even when I go in Sai Bat in the morning, I feel that we really give a lot of maybe overflowing of food to the monks, and the life is very different now compared to during the Buddha time, isn't it? Like, it's very, very easy to break the precepts now compared to before. Entertainment is all over as well.
Yes, the environment is different.
Yes.
And the environment is not conducive for Dharma practice.
Yes.
Not like before. Before that, the environment is much more peaceful and calm. And not much distraction like today.
Correct. And yep. Actually, when we go in Sai Bat, almost everyone I see give money as well, so which is not correct as well, right?
Well, you can give money, but the proper way is to leave it with the
lay person.
The monks, lay person who will look after the money for the monks.
Okay.
Because sometimes the monk might need something that he doesn't get from offerings. Like maybe some special medicine or something.
That's true. Okay.
So money is allowed to be accepted by monk, but not directly. It has to be received by a proxy, someone to look after the money.
Okay.
And when the monk needs the money, then he can ask the proxy to go and get what he wants.
Okay, understand now. Okay.
But people don't understand, and so it's very difficult to tell. And people believe that they don't get any merit if they give it to the proxy.
That's
so
true.
They want to give directly to the monks.
Yes. Because most people will give it to the alms, put it in the alms bowl.
That's right.
Yes.
So sometimes you just have to, to go along with the trend, I guess.
Yes.
Because no matter how many times you tell them, there's always somebody who doesn't know and who will always do it.
Yes.
So sometimes you get tired and so you just give up telling people, okay, just give whatever you want. As long as you have to be yourself, you have to be careful that you're not happy with getting the money, that's all.
Yep, that's true.
And not using the money for the wrong purpose.
Yep.
Then it's okay if you have to accept it by hand or whatever.
Yep.
But if you're happy, if you're greedy, then this is wrong. You shouldn't touch it. You shouldn't have it. Because you'll use the money for the wrong purpose.
Yep. That's true. That's all I have to say.
Originally, the Buddha forbid the monks to have any money. But then as there are more people ordaining and a lot of them are still weak and the mind is not as strong as like the original group, which are all arahants. These are just ordinary people who are still weak. And if they lack something, that they can become a problem for them. So they ask the Buddha, can they have some money for some special need purpose? Like medicines or something that they cannot get from the offering.
Okay.
So the Buddha said, okay, but you cannot keep the money yourself. You have to leave with the proxy.
Okay. Understand. Thank you for your information.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Next, Mandy, you've been away for a while. Okay, sunny day for you, huh?
Yeah. I have been listening to the recordings, so Ajaan, thank you very much. Today is another day of spinal needling that I have to go to, so I'm ready to use my word.
Acupuncture.
It's more like spinal biopsies along the spine. It's a new form of medicine.
I see.
Yeah. So
Okay,
that's
hope
what
you
I'm
get well
preparing for.
soon. Hope you get well soon.
Thank you. I wish to too, so I can come to Thailand someday.
Yeah, you will eventually, and everything's right for you.
Yes.
You got any question?
No. Thank you very much, though. Thank you.
Okay, good to see you.
Good to see you too.
Okay, Sajal Kha from Silver Spring, Maryland.
Thank you, Ajaan, for your answers, especially to Professor Hunt's question about anger and another question. I think another person was also asking about anger, and your answer to that was very instructive. And of course, it comes down to mindfulness as my success with mindfulness. But I think it looks like almost it's impossible to be quote unquote perfect when you live with people and family and things like that, to maintain that. And there are times anger comes, you think that it is for the benefit of other people, that you're asking them to behave in a certain way, act in a certain way, because you see the drawback of their actions. But as you mentioned many times before, that you may say the right thing does not mean that they will listen to you. So it's kind of very frustrating, and I kind of think that it's almost impossible to be able to practice properly if you stay in a family framework. I think to have the human birth to come to Buddha's teaching is one thing, but not to be able to run away from it like Lord Buddha, I think that's a kind of like a very unhappy situation. I think some people have actually have abandoned, not gone into family life, gone into to ordain or and such. But Buddha was able to leave family and go. So I wonder if the modern times there are things like that as well. Like but I think that you're teaching about to be able to see that all the things surrounding you, including your family and everything, is anicca, dukkha, anatta and stuff, and you can be caring and still move on with the practice and move on and move away if that is compelling, right? I think there is nothing, no contradiction there, right, Ajaan?
Yes, if you can move on. But some people cannot move on because they're still attached to things, to people.
Yes.
Like your case, you have so many, I think, many minuses as far as for you to lead a monastic life, because your age is one already, right? And your family, you've been living with them for almost all of your life. So it's not easy for you to just to say goodbye. Unless some catastrophic event happens, everybody around you die and now you're left all alone by yourself. Then maybe you are blessed. You can turn this catastrophic event into a blessing. When you're all left alone, what else would you do? I'll go live. Maybe, but the best thing to do is to go live in a monastery, right? Okay, I hope you understand. I'm not predicting anything or cursing.
No, but Ajaan, that what I will jokingly say that what if you die before them, then the snake that I killed, I may be born as a snake. That so that is also not very appealing either. Thank you, Ajaan.
So you just have to make the best out of your situation, whatever you can do. And maybe hope one day things might be better for you before it's too late.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Thank you.
Okay. I think everyone has more or less asked the question. So let me go to Facebook or YouTube for a question now. Lula, are you ready?
Yes, there are 4 questions from Facebook and YouTube, Ajahn. The first question is from Chitta. Dear Ajahn, does Vajjan still accept foreigners for meditation practice, say around 1 to 2 weeks? Thank you.
Yes, you can come and practice.
There are 2 questions from Aun. Good evening, Pante. I'm Aun from Penang, Malaysia. My first question is, why some monks tell lay people asking for 5 precepts from monk, but some monks say no need asking for 5 precepts from monk because precept is in your own practice?
Well, see, the reason for go asking precept from monk means to learn what the 5 precepts are and how to keep them properly. If you don't know, then you go study from a monk. But it has become a ritual that every time you want to keep the precept, you have to go to take the precept from the monk. But the real intention is to learn what the 5 precepts are. Once you know how to keep the 5 precepts, then you don't need to go see a monk to keep the 5 precepts. You just tell yourself, today I'm going to keep the 5 precepts. Today I'm not going to drink, for instance, And then you do it. It's not from the precept is not whether you get it, take it from the monk or not. The precept is whether you keep it or not. If you keep the precept, then you have the precept. If you don't keep the precept, then you don't have the precept. So, it's only for beginner, people who don't know what the 5 precepts are, then yes, you have to go find from somebody. Nowadays, you don't need a monk to tell you the 5 precepts. Or everybody in this room can tell you what the 5 precepts are, if you don't know. Right? Okay.
And the
Next.
second question, Prajan has already answered in the first question, so I go to the next questions from the multiversal unity. Dear Prajan, what is the right faith in Buddhism?
The right faith?
Yes.
F-A-T-E.
F-A-I-T-H.
F-A-I, or faith, right faith. Right faith is to have faith in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. That's the right faith. Because the Dhamma and Sangha are the knower, or the true knower of things. If you follow them, you will not be deceived. You will not go in the wrong path. You will be on the right path, leading you to the release from suffering, leading you to the supreme happiness. Is that all?
That's all. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else would like to ask any question? You are welcome to do so by just raise your hand and unmute your microphone. Taiwan, Eugene. Okay.
Pa Zhang, I still have a small question. When we focus on the mantra, for example, Putto, Dhammo, Sangho, and my concentration will put into the just like a small pool, and I stay inside and I feel comfortable. If it becomes a habitual for in the future meditation, it's not easy to get out of this pool.
Get out of what?
Well, I just make a example. For example, a swimming pool.
Swimming pool. Okay.
For when I chanting Putto, Dhammo, Sangho, I will feel very comfortable, and sometimes joyful will come out, full of my feeling and body and also mind. But is it a mantra, just like a swimming pool? I get into that, I feel comfortable, and in the future, I will difficult to get out of the small pool to focus on everything in my lifetime?
Well, you can change if you feel comfortable with your mantra. You can maybe stop and see how your mind becomes. If your mind can still become happy, then you don't need to use the mantra. You only use it when the mind becomes unhappy, or nervous. Then you can start using the mantra again.
So the balance is depend on myself.
Right, depending on your state of your mind. If your mind is happy, then you don't need the mantra. And when your mind is not happy, then you need to use the mantra to calm it down. Bring it back into the swimming pool when it gets hot.
And the second question is last question. For example, live with our family member. If, for example, the parents, they have a good heart, but they have deep scriptable for something. They think it should do, it should not do. It's good for society. It's good for you. Good for your life. But sometimes the power is too strong. How should we focus on it? Because we will feel myself is lazy, is not work hard enough, is not combined with the Buddha Dharma. So the many thinking will come out.
It depends on your status, your relationship with your parents. If you still live with them and you rely on them, dependent on them, then you have to listen to what they tell you to do. They're like your boss. You're the employee of the company. So whatever the boss tells you to do, you have to do it. But if you don't want to work for this company, then you have to move out and go live alone. Then you can do whatever you want to do. That's why a lot of people do. They move away from the parents because they want to be free. They don't want to be told everything what to do. But if you cannot afford to do this, then you just have to accept your situation. and just think that they mean well for you. They love you and they want to make sure that you are safe and and well looked after.
So the family members, their wishes, they accept their personality. In Buddhism, we think is the karma from past life. Is it correct?
Well, the character of each people comes from their karma in the past life. Yes, from the karma. They are what they are because of their karma. Some are good, some are bad. Some are very strict, some are not very relaxed. This is how they have been trained this way in their past life. So they're all different. They're all different.
So if we deep pray for Buddha, Dhammo, Sangho, can change one.
Yes, you can change. Once you can control your thought, if your mind start to think of bad thing, you can stop it from thinking. If the mind wants to do something bad, you can stop it from doing it. If you have mindfulness, if you have Buddha, Dhammo, and Sangho, like if you know that drinking is not good, and when your mind think of drinking, then you can stop by using Buddha, Dhammo, and Sangho. You can change your habit. You can change your character by using Buddha, Dhammo, and Sangho, and also wisdom.
Also wisdom.
Yeah, wisdom is the ability to know what's good or bad, right or wrong for you. If you don't, then you study the wisdom from the Buddha. Like if you don't know how to live, the Buddha teaches you the 38 steps to happiness. Called in the Mangala Sutta. It's the 38 step toward happiness. Look it up. How to live your life
May please Ajahn say the
Mangala,
sutras. Mangalan Sutra.
Mangala, Mangala Sutta.
A auspicious sutra.
I think so, auspicious sutta. These
Thank
are
you.
the tests. If you don't know how to live properly, study these 38 steps. Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anybody else?
Ricardo.
Okay, Ricardo.
Thank you, Ajahn. First of all, I'd like to tell you that I'm beginning to ask Claudia translate some of your teachings to Spanish and put it on YouTube speaking. I take the transcript of your teachings like Key to Success and Meditation,
Yes.
translate it to Spanish and put it on YouTube.
Good.
So
this will make it more available to people.
Right. So you are in Spanish now too.
Okay, good. I can speak Spanish. It's just what caption, right? You could caption in you not voice over my video. Just put caption under, right?
Right. And I have a question, and that's about anatta. Because sometimes I talk with psychologists or psychiatrists about anatta, and it's very difficult for me to explain. Like they use it, they ask me, is that the no ego, no I, no self? What is it, anatta? And it's very difficult to me. So I ask you, please, to help me.
Well, you compare you ask yourself, does the rain or the wind has a self on it? Is there a self in the wind or the rain? Okay, if you can answer that question, then everything is like that. Your mind is like the wind. And the difference is that the wind blows, the mind knows, that's all the difference. The mind knows, the mind thinks. But unfortunately, the mind is deluded. So it thinks that it is the self who thinks, who knows. That's all, that's the difference. With the one who has no delusion, he knows that the mind is just like the wind. The wind blows, the mind knows, the mind thinks. But there's no one who thinks or one who knows. Okay. So it's like that. It's like the rain falls, right? The rain blows, the sunshine. Is there self in this thing, doing this thing? No self, right? No ego. Same way with the body. The body is just a 4 elements.
Okay.
Of 32 parts of the body. Can you point to any parts as being an ego, being a self? Your hair, your nail, your teeth? No self. They are just material, or what you call, parts of the body. So there is no self in everything. It's just our delusion, the mind's delusion that claims that the body is I, claim that the mind is I. That's all. It's just delusion and saying that it's not there. Like in ancient time, people claim the world is flat. The world was flat, right? It's just claiming without any actual fact to support the claim. So this claim could be eventually dispelled by facts, by truth. Same way, if you meditate, then you'll be able to see that there's no self in the mind. When everything stops, then the self disappears. Then you realize the self comes with your thoughts. When you start thinking me and mine right away. But when you're in full concentration, there's no thinking at all. Then the I disappears. And all that is left just a knowing.
Okay.
But then when you reunite with your body, you start to think again of I and me and myself again. So this is when you have to use vipassana to correct this misunderstanding. No, this body is not mine. It's just a robot, a biological robot, made from the 4 elements. And it doesn't belong to me. One day it's gonna go back to its original state, where it came from. It came from the 4 elements, so it will return to the 4 elements. This is something you have to keep teaching your mind when you come out of meditation. It's what we call vipassana contemplation. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Ajahn.
How many video have you done so far? Maybe I should go take a look and then put it on the link for Spanish people too.
I started with one.
With one.
And
Inside to. Is that the one?
YouTube.
And what's the title?
I'll send you by mail if you'd like.
Or you can send it to one of my assistant better. Or you have my address?
Your assistant, I do have the mail.
Yeah, okay. Send to my assistant. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Okay, Christine Coe.
Ajaan, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Ajaan. I have one question. Nowadays, I try to practice so-called Mahasatipasana, Vipassana. So on and off, I can, if mindfulness is strong enough, I can know that, oh, thinking is coming, the thought. Then the delusion follow the thinking, doing a lot of story behind. So when the mindfulness come in, the story stop, the thinking stop. Is that the correct way?
Yes, you want to stop this thinking.
Correct way, yeah?
Yeah, clear the thought from your mind, make your mind empty of thoughts.
Yes. So I stop the thought and stop the thinking.
By using mindfulness.
Using the mindfulness.
Yeah.
So when I stop thinking, so I can stop the delusion. Am I right?
Temporarily, not permanently. You have to use wisdom to be able to stop your delusion permanently.
Oh, how to stop permanently is doing through bhavana.
You have to teach your mind that everything is anicca.
Anicca.
Everything is anatta. And if you want them to be different, you can create dukkha for yourself.
Create dukkha for myself. I create dukkha.
If you want things that is anicca not to be anicca, things that is anatta to be atta, then you are causing suffering for yourself because you cannot make things to be permanent. Everything is anicca.
Yeah. When I see something, sometimes I think so. I implement saying that this is everything impermanent. It go fast and it pass through.
Yeah.
So do not attach on the feeling.
And do not attach or want them to be anything. You don't want them to be permanent. You don't want them to be under your control because you cannot control them.
So let it pass will do.
Yeah, let go. Leave it alone. Then this is the way to stop the delusion completely, permanently.
Oh, wow. Have to practice.
Yeah, because it's easy to say to let go, but when you come to a real thing, it's hard to let go, especially something you love, like money.
Yes. Very important. To sustain the body.
Or your body is impermanent.
No, I feel body needs a lot of money to spend to sustain to make it not so suffer.
Well, you have to look at the Buddha, for example, how he lives. He eats once a day,
Mm,
and he can sustain his body. So why not you? Why do you need so much money to sustain your body?
okay. Greedy.
Defilement, kilesa. You want to get rid of your kilesa, so you have to live simple, live very little.
Little.
Yeah, small is beautiful.
Oh, okay. Everything be contented, yeah.
That's right. Content with little, with as little as possible. Just have one pair of shoes is good enough. You don't need many pairs of shoes. One bag is good enough. You don't need 10 bags.
Yeah, never enough. the cabinet never enough.
Not enough space to put them.
I have to slot everything in.
Why don't you give it to Dana? Give it to charity.
Yeah,
Make you feel good.
Yes.
You only use one bag at a time. So why do you need so many bags for?
Everything I see that I want.
You use common sense. You have to ask yourself whether you really need it or not. Then you can stop your greed. If I don't have this bag, will I die or not? Ask yourself. If you don't die, then you don't need that bag.
Yes, sir.
So it's easy to talk about anicca. It's easy to talk about anatta, but it's very hard to put it into practice.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Next, anybody?
Ajahn, we have 3 people.
Newcomer?
Yeah, newcomer.
Okay, please go ahead. Whoever comes in first.
Evie.
Evie. Okay, Evie.
Namo Buddhaya, Ajahn. Can Ajahn hear me?
Yes, very good.
Ajahn, actually this question is come from my friend. She asking about, this is the month of the soul. Can we send merit to the disease with the chanting that we have paid, but
No, you only do it by charity, dana.
No, by chanting which have already she paid for, so she cannot present at the chanting place because my friend doesn't have time to chanting together with the.
She can transfer money to the temple. Yeah. Nowadays, you can transfer money electronically very quickly, easily.
So
just ask for the bank account, the temple, and then just transfer the money. Then you can then share this merit with the departed.
Okay, so chanting is no useful, Ajahn.
Well, chanting is something that you don't even know whether you get any result from your chanting.
Yeah.
But when you give to charity, you know you get the result. You feel good, right? When you give something away.
Yeah, I said to her, if the chanting people, they chanting without sati, that is not useful. I said.
Yeah. And then
it's true.
And no result for the mind. It's not easy because you need to get the result. You need to get jhana to be really the result of your chanting or your meditation. That's why the Buddha didn't recommend using this as a way of sharing merit. The Buddha said you use the fast food. Charity is like fast food, But the other are like gourmet food. It takes a long time to cook,
Yeah. Okay, I understand. I will tell her.
Okay.
And I want to ask you about my meditation. When the body is still, I start to pay attention to the eyes, nose, mouth, teeth, ears. I call this is 7 hole. And
If you want to meditate for jhana, you don't think. You don't want to do any thinking. You can do this later when you're not meditating. Like right now, you can think all you want. But when you meditate, you want to stop your thinking altogether.
So in meditation, I feel a little funny with this body because this
You have
is
to ignore everything and just keep reciting your mantra or keep watching your breathing, your breath.
So the seven hole is just the delusion.
No, they are distraction. They're not the time for them to think. It's not the right time. When you meditate, you want to stop all forms of thinking, all forms of distraction. You want to stay focused with your breath or your mantra only.
Okay. And my final question is, how to refuse someone who likes to borrow something from us and the person doesn't feel ashamed, even though this person knows we don't like this borrowing?
Just tell them you're not a banker. Let them to go to the bank.
These people like to borrow the car.
Just tell them they come to the wrong place. This is not a car rental company.
They will get angry, Ajahn.
Okay, so they won't come back then. Right. Once they get angry with you, then they won't come back and ask you for anything anymore, which is what you want, right?
Because these people is our family lah.
So what?
Stay here, stay here too.
Maybe the
If
only
together
reason why
we met, together we met.
only reason why you feel that you have to give it to them because you might in the future you might need them when you might need their help.
Yeah.
Then you have to consider it as an investment.
Investment.
Just think as an investment. Maybe tomorrow you might need some money and then you might have to go borrow money from them. And if they give you the money, then it's good investment. If they don't give you the money, then it's bad investment. The next time you don't invest in them anymore.
Yeah, Ajahn is right. Okay. But not expected, Ajahn. Cannot expect anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
Next, Ryan. Ryan, where are you from?
Good evening, Ajahn. I'm Ryan from Singapore.
Okay. You have any question?
Yes, I do, Ajahn. So I help out quite a lot at my local temple in Singapore. So because work for me is quite busy, and at the same time I'm helping at the temple usually on Sundays. So I find it's quite busy as well. So in general, as a result, I don't meditate so much. So how do I find the right balance between helping out at the temple or just prioritizing my own practice? Because if I don't go to the temple, then maybe I can sit at home and meditate. So how do I manage this balance? Thank you, Ajahn.
Well, you have to find out you have yourself what you want. You want to meditate or you want to help other people. You cannot have both, right? You cannot have your cake and eat it too.
Yes.
So you have to decide. If you want 50-50, then say 1 week you go to the temple and the next week you stay home. Give yourself time to meditate. Divide the time up 50-50.
Okay, Ajahn. Thank you.
All right.
I'll do my best. Yeah.
Okay. Somchai from Pennsylvania. Working all the time. I still have time to listening to Dhammatalk.
Yes. Good evening, Ajahn. How about my sound? I gonna change my video sometime, but today how the sound is said bad sound again.
Oh no, it's good tonight. Very clear.
Someday, see, you're right about that. It's someday good, someday.
It's anicca. It's anicca.
Okay. I tried to meditate one day. Sit down in the corner of the house. then I try to thinking, this is how it is when I bought the house. Maybe somebody is around the house, or some people die around here or not. It's like kind of it kind of fear, kind of scary or something. So after that, I go Buddha all the time. Then about 10-15 minutes, then I quit. So I said, well, let me sit down and start over again next time. So that's what last time I tried to do is like that. So that's kind of mind is not, it's not with me anyway.
Yeah. Because you're not using common sense. You've been living in the house for a long time already. Nothing happens to you. So why should it happen to you when you start thinking about ghosts around your house? If they want to do something to you, they have done it to you a long time ago already.
It's mine. I mean, mine is it's a something.
Yeah, but you have to use reason. Think reasonably. You know, using common sense. If the ghost gonna do something to you, they could do it to you right now. Why must they wait until the time you meditate to do it?
Okay, that's it's kind of not there, but all right. So it's right now. I take the medicine, so I have to take the juice, like something food before I go to bed. Then so that's what the precept on after midday.
Yes.
So
see, you have to choose between your body and your mind, which one you want to look after. If you want to look after the mind, you keep the 8 precepts. If you want to look after your body, you take the medicine, take the food. But the body, you cannot take it with you. The body will one day die sooner or later. But the mind will still continue on without the body. So you want what you want. You want the mind or the body. Ask yourself this way.
Yeah, that's a tougher decide actually, but I gotta try to calm down and kind of follow. And speaking of donation, yes, I do. I donations a couple places and all that, and so when the time comes to you, I can't even think. I don't know why, but it's when I listen to someone speaking, it's kind of a little lot better because they know what to say and ask you about that. But I try to go with 5 precepts and go along with the 8 too. So I can try to do the best I can.
Yes, it means you're not able to move up the ladder yet. You're still in the 5. So it might take some time before you can move up to the 8.
All right.
So you still haven't passed your examination to go on to the 8th precept.
Okay.
Maybe one day you can do that. Maybe after your body doesn't need to take any medicine anymore, then you might be able to.
Okay. After one day, that's what I'm thinking about. Like I do tutor teaching about. You cannot take with you anything anyway. So
even your body you cannot take it with you. No matter how much medicine you take, the body is gonna die anyway.
But yeah, all right then. What else? What else you can examination me? Like can you
Examine. This is enough examination for you right now.
punish it or something or whatever?
If you cannot pass this examination, how can you take more tests? You know.
All right.
Just take the 5 now. Keep the 5 precepts. Keep it every day if you can. and keep it perfect also, not broken.
And I heard that, I saw a lot of people take meditation, meditation, they're doing meditate and they are kind of mindfulness, and I try to go there too once a while, like, so that's what I start. So, but all right, then.
Just be patient, and it takes time to develop. Yeah. So just do what you can right now, and hopefully you will be able to do more as you go on your practice. Okay, don't be frustrated or don't be discouraged. Yeah. Just do what you can, step one step at a time.
When I was young, I never care about this until I get on this much. Then, I know this. That's kind of life. It's just nothing. It doesn't matter. So that now I understand. Before I thought nothing about this, but now I'm really serious to do that. All right, thank you so much.
Okay. Anybody else?
We have another question from Facebook.
Okay.
There are 3 questions from Facebook, and the first question is from Phonic Lee. Dear Ajahn, is it wrong to read the news while taking the 8 precepts?
It is not helpful. Let's put it that way. It's not wrong, but it's not the time to read the news when you take the 8 precepts. You want to isolate yourself from the world of the body. You want to go inside the world of the mind. So you have to forget about the news about the world, forget about everything in this world, so that you can then go into another world, into the spiritual world.
And next question from Bhikkhuni Santi Ariyamaka. Vladimir Pante, some people say learning Abhidhamma will be very quick to help people to attain Nibbana or enlightenment. Now, so many teachers teaching Abhidhamma. What is Pante's opinion about the correlation this with meditator? Anumotana Pante.
Well, before you can meditate, you have to learn how to meditate. So you have to study the scripture. And the scripture there are 2 parts that you can study from, the suttas and the Abhidhamma. It's up to you which one you want to study. But you don't have to study the whole scripture. Just study just the subject that you need to know, such as what is mindfulness, what is the precept, what is charity, what is the Noble Eightfold Path. That's all you need to know. You don't have to know all the things that the Buddha taught us, because he taught to many different people and have different situations. So you don't need to know everything. Just know the basic that has to do with your practice, which are the charity, right? You know how to give dana. How do you give dana? How do you keep the precept? How you meditate? How you develop mindfulness? How you develop wisdom? That's all you need to know. You don't have to study the whole scriptures to know this. That's why it's easier to study from the forest teacher. They sort of only bring the relevant information for you to know, to learn. So you don't waste time learning all this noble knowledge, but it's not useful for you anyway.
And the last question from Un. Good evening, Pante. I'm Bun An from Penang, Malaysia. Another question is, can Pante teach me how to overcome my headache? Because sometimes I use mantra, putto, 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 very fast in my mind to make my mind focus in right concentration. Because my monkey mind will run away thinking other past issue. But this tactic helped me overcome my leg pain after few hours meditate. Sadhu.
Well, if it's the technique that works for you, then you can use this technique. Yeah, just keep reciting the mantra. Okay.
พระอาจารย์ one more question just come from คุณประสาน อาจารย์ how to remove defilement from mind
by meditation, by the 3 steps, by charity. If you have attachment to money, you still greedy for money, then you have to give it to charity. Every time you get more money, give it to charity. Only keep just enough for you to exist. Anything more than that, give it up, give it to charity. Then this will stop you from being greedy for money. Because you cannot keep your money anyway, right? You have to give it all to charity. So then why bother getting more money than you need? Because if you have more than you need, you have to give it to charity anyway. It's like taxes. Some people feel like, what should they work so hard for? When they have to, the more money they make, then the more taxes they have to pay. Same thing. This is charity, the way to curb your greed for money, which is a defilement, lopa. And keep the precept will prevent you from get rid of some of your dosa. When you're angry, sometimes you break a precept. But if you're keeping the precept, then you cannot break the precept. Then you stop your dosa instead, your anger instead, or your hatred. And lastly, you have to meditate to get rid of all of your defilements. Because what you have got rid with your precept and your charity is only partial, not complete yet. You need to meditate. You need to develop wisdom in order to be able to get rid of all your defilements completely. Okay, any more questions?
And Kun Prasan said, when we meditate or chant, I feel it surpassed from time being, but it again come back when we come out of meditation or chanting. Please kindly advise. Thank you.
What do you mean surpass? When he meditated, he surpassed something. What's that word mean? I don't understand. Read the first sentence of the question.
He said, when he meditate or chant, I feel it surpassed for time.
What do you mean by surpass? How do you spell the word?
surpass.
Surpass what?
Surpass for time being.
Surpass for time
being.
It doesn't make sense for me. Surpass for something, for time being.
He write this way.
I'm sorry. Anybody understand the question? Can you help elaborate? Okay, Ryan.
คำแปลภาษาไทย surpassing แปลว่าเหนือกว่านะฮะ
ได้ไงเหนือกว่าอะไร For time being
เหนือกว่า I feel it's surpassed for time.
It's not good to guess the people. Kenneth, you want to help contribute? Professor? Okay. As Professor, unmute the microphone.
I'm just reading the comment on Facebook. I think surpassed is the wrong word. I think he means that the defilement is removed for the time being during meditation, but it comes back when he's out of meditation.
That's right. It's just temporary measure. Mindfulness can only suppress the defilement temporarily. That's why you need to use wisdom to remove your defilement permanently. Okay, I think this answers the question. Not also the question. Review what the question was. Thank you, Professor. Ryan, you said you want to ask more questions.
No, Ajahn, I was just wanting to unmute because I thought the word could have been suppressed. So I think that was answered already. Thank you.
Okay. Suppressed instead of surpassed. Surpassed. Okay. Should be suppressed. Okay. We're almost running out of time. And if we don't have any more questions, I would like to call this meeting to an end. Thank you for your participation. I hope this meeting has helped you and benefit you and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, and keep on practicing. And if all goes well, I'll see you all at the same time next week. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
everyone.
Thank you
อาจารย์
Thank you admin Thank you คุณบอย and คุณลา
ครับนมัสการค่ะ
Bye bye. Good night, everyone.
Thank you admin Thank you คุณลา
บ๊ายบาย
Bye.
All right.
Bye bye.
บ๊ายบาย thank you
ยินดีครับ
Bye ค่ะ Bye.
บ๊ายบาย